Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Croatians are just so cool. Do I binge watch any TV shows?
How you doing? Joey's voice.
Beauty, it's Kaleigh Hendershot from This Croatian Life. Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to do a Q&A with you guys. I need to confess to you guys that I am not the neatest person. I am a clean person, like antibacterial, no dust, regular showers. But I am just not a tidy person. Sorry. So my bed is a mess back there and I should probably pick it up. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pick it up for you guys right now. Just a second. Okay, look. Clean bed. So right now I have no makeup on, not that it matters, and I need to do my makeup, and then I'm gonna sit down with you guys and answer some of your questions. Why am I out of breath? I'm in shape, I quit smoking, but I'm just really out of breath. I don't get it. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna do today. And then also on Instagram, I had posted on my story, ask me a question, and some of you input questions, and they are wonderful. So thank you so much for everyone who sent your questions in. It really helps me. I also want to announce one little thing. It's gonna be at the end of this video of a project that I did, and when that's releasing, what it is. It's just a fun little thing. More details on that at the end of this video, so stay tuned. Okay, I am back. Makeup is done. So let's just jump right into it. What do you do for a living? How did work colleagues accept you? I do not want to disclose what I do for a living. Let's just say I work for an international company working in customer service. And that's about all I want to say. That's what I do for a living. And the question of how work colleagues accepted me. So because I work in an international company, it was very warm and welcoming, and it's a great company, and everyone was super excited that they were getting an American, because I am the first American in our department. So that was really cool. And everyone speaks English, but there is a lot of Croatian going around the room. Myself and one other colleague are the only members of the team who are not from Croatia. So that's kind of interesting sometimes because people are speaking Croatian, and yeah, I don't really understand what's going on all of the time, but sometimes I'm kind of glad, you know what I mean? Because then I don't have to be 100% involved and having an opinion, and yeah, I don't know. Although I do that anyway, and if I want to know, I just ask. These next two questions were questions from around the time that I did my first Q&A. Have you seen any differences in a typical Croatian work week compared to an American work week? Americans, in my opinion, focus more on financial stability rather than living life and being satisfied with what they have. Yeah, I mean, it all, again, of course, comes back to this coffee culture, which I talk constantly about in most, if not all, of my videos. It doesn't all go back to that, but I would say that that is a big part, where people are in Croatia, they are working their work week, and then after work, they're generally meeting for drinks, meeting for coffee after work with colleagues or friends and or family. Americans do really focus on financial stability, having money, working as much as they possibly can to have as much money as they can. And I understand why it's not like that in Croatia. I get that. It is not the same level of opportunity in Croatia as it is in the US. See the difference in that people go and they work, but people still work just as hard here. People work, you know, 8, 9, 10-hour days here. But the focus is to be with the ones that you love and care about. Just because you have the constant after work going, getting a drink, going, getting coffee. I hope that answers that question. That was a tough one. How is the work situation in Croatia? Is it hard to find a job? What jobs are in demand? So I'm planning to do a video soon. Can't say when yet. It requires a bit of research time, but I want to do a video about moving to Croatia and what that looks like in all areas, you know, language, infrastructure, jobs, everything. But right now I will just answer this question and say that right now it is easier to find a job in Croatia because so many people unfortunately are leaving the country to work elsewhere. Now, what does that tell you though? That tells you about wages and salaries, and I'm gonna let you do the math, or I will just talk about that later. But it's something for you to keep in mind. And when it comes to which jobs are in demand right now, I would say it would be the IT sector, the medical field, nurses, doctors, and then another department that is super high demand is an electrician, because my husband's father is an electrician and there is a huge demand. Okay, so now I need a coffee, so I'm gonna be in the kitchen making coffee while I answer a couple more questions. If you haven't seen how I make coffee in Croatia, I have a tutorial. Okay, it's not a tutorial, it's just me making Turkish coffee. So I will also link that down below if you wanna watch and see how I make coffee. So another question that I got was, what is your favorite Croatian food? I personally love anything seafood, specifically from Dalmatia. I love blitva and potatoes together with garlic and olive oil. That's something that you can find. I love that. I love shrimps. I love octopus. But for me, it's mostly just fish cooked on the fire, which is like my favorite thing from Dalmatia. And they love their fish and I love fish, so it works out. Another thing that I love is I love malinci. When I had malinci for the first time when I was visiting, I was like done. I loved it so much. For those of you that aren't from Croatia or are of Croatian descent, or whatever, or Croatian living outside of Croatia, I'm sure you have a lot of recipes, but there's a really great cookbook that I found. It's on Amazon, and I'm going to link it in the description box below. If you really want a good cookbook that has all the classic Croatian food, but in US measurements and in English, for me it is the best one because it has the title in English of the Croatian food, but it also has the title in Croatian. So the book is awesome. It also has a really great history, a rundown of Croatia in the beginning, of all the different regions, what different regions are known for, and some really fun Croatian facts, which I actually didn't know until I read the beginning. So yeah, it's in the description box if you're just interested in trying some traditional Croatian food. Okay, so let's sit and have a quick coffee and we can chat. Again, the crosses, if you didn't see my last video where I talked about how we're definitely in a Croatian household because of the cross and crucifix on the wall. Okay, I had to turn you around because of the lighting. So, look at the Mary in the back. So another question that I got, which actually relates to the cross and Mary being in the back. Croatian or American husband and marriage, which option is longer lasting, 1 or 2? And another person also asked me, and I think it kind of just goes hand in hand, Croatian versus American guys. Whew. The first question, I am actually not able to answer that. I have only been married once. My current marriage to my Croatian husband, and I don't know what the difference would be as far as marriage goes. I can tell you the difference between guys. However, I don't want to say anything bad because I really don't have a bad view of American guys. Anybody watching might be an American man. You have a lot of really great guys in the United States, for sure. I've dated them, but I've also dated not great guys. I think that any Croatian girl would say the same about Croatian men. The only big difference that I would say would be in the chivalry. European men are just typically more chivalrous in the sense of opening doors, opening the car door, paying for things, standing aside for a woman to enter the room first. I'm not saying that guys don't do that. There's definitely guys that do that in the United States. However, as far as like an entire culture that is behaving in one way more often than another way, I would say that definitely in Croatia, men are much more behaving like that than in the States. That is the biggest difference that I would say. Here is another big difference between Croatian men and American men. I have like a double chin right now. You guys notice that? American men are very confident, maybe borderline cocky, and they have a different approach when it comes to women. I would say a little more aggressive, a little more in your face. Not aggressive in the sense of like they're gonna do something to you, but just in the sense of they're much more forward and they're much more like kind of blunt in the way that they approach women. Croatian men are much smoother. I gotta say that, okay? I'm not saying that American guys can't get a girl with their game, but I will say that Croatians are just so cool, you know? Especially from the South. I'm sorry, the legend of the Dalmatian men, it still lives. They're just more relaxed about the idea of a girl. So that would be my best answer right now. Okay, we need to go into the other room because Baka needs to cook some lunch. Ručak. Ručak means lunch in Croatian. Now we're shifting gears here. Do you binge watch any TV shows? I love your channel, by the way. Thank you. Do I binge watch any TV shows? Oh my God, yes. I look like this extroverted person and I am very outgoing and I'm not shy at all. But I really do love my Netflix and pajama days. I'm gonna go from order from lowest to the #1 show. Fourth favorite show that I love is Walking Dead. I actually hated Walking Dead before I started it, but now I love it, at least the early seasons. Breaking Bad, I absolutely adore Breaking Bad, one of the best shows of all time. The other show that I really love is The Americans. It's about 2 Soviet Union spies who live in the United States. It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. And my #1 show that I watch on repeat when I'm bored, when I want to take a nap and want to watch something to fall asleep to, is Peaky Blinders. I absolutely freaking love that show. It is amazingly written, it's interesting character development, and amazing acting, amazing footage, amazing music. I don't even know how to begin. If you don't know what it is, watch it. Peaky Blinders, go now.
Best city in Croatia except Zagreb. You all know where I love in Croatia, and it's just Korčula. As far as cities go, I haven't visited many cities in Croatia, and it's something that I need to do, and it's something that I'm planning on doing. So for me right now at this point in my life, I will always say best place, let's say, in Croatia for me is Korčula. If you're interested in visiting Korčula, you want to book in Korčula, check out the link below. I've linked to booking.com so that way you can explore and see, you know, I know it's so hard to find accommodations. So there's a link in the description box if you're interested in checking out Korčula, which I highly recommend because it's a magical place. Another question. How you doing? Joey's voice. How you doing? I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Difference between US girls and Croatian girls. So I have sort of answered this in one of my other videos, in my video where I compare some of the biggest differences between the United States and Croatia. So I did talk about Croatian girls, but I will just go over that again for those of you who are new to the channel, for those of you who didn't see the video. I think one of the biggest differences between girls in America and girls in Croatia is that girls in America aren't so afraid to look not perfect, let's say. Because Croatian girls always seem to look good. Eyebrows, perfect lipstick. I mean, they look like movie stars and they're very beautiful. I just feel like such an outsider because I'm not always like that. I like to do that, but I don't do that every day. Croatian girls, I said that in my last video, I'm gonna say it again, they're more reserved and American girls are just very loud and obnoxious and laughing loud, like myself. There's like one huge difference. American girls smile more. Croatian girls don't smile a lot, and I'm not sure why. I have met Croatian girls. I mean, this is just a generalization from just going off majority. However, of course, I know some Croatian girls that just laugh nonstop and are always smiling and laughing and joking, and I love that. But I always, you know, I've met some really, really great, wonderful girls too, who in the beginning, you know, weren't smiling and, oh my God, you know, but then I just ended up loving them because when that comes out. So they're just a little more reserved when you meet them, and yeah, that's like one of the biggest differences that I would say.
Do you feel safer in Croatia? Yes! I talked about that in my interview with RTL Direct, but they didn't show kind of all of my rationale because they only had a certain amount of time. You have organized crime. However, as far as like stranger on stranger crime, you don't have that. And there's some kind of moral code, and it's great. It's really, really great. Because you just don't have that in the States. While there is crime and there is dangerous things that take place in Croatia, I do not feel like weary that someone is going to attack me when I'm getting into my car. I love that I feel so much safer in Croatia, so thank you so much. Diaspora, you understand me, and those who living in Croatia, please be grateful. How do you get your teeth so white? I do not whiten my teeth with any kind of like whitening strips, although I have used those in the States. I don't now. Honestly, a lot of it is just genetics, and I kind of won the lottery on a good teeth color. However, I do use a specific toothpaste and a method. The toothpaste is 3D White by Crest. That is the toothpaste brand that I use. This is the toothpaste brand that I have used in the States, or that I was using in the States. You can get it on AliExpress. I will link down below in my description box, so if you want to just snag one of those up. Here's the trick. One thing people don't know is that when you brush your teeth, you are not supposed to rinse your mouth. My trick at night is I will floss. I always floss my teeth, so that way like the little cracks and stuff are white. And I brush, and I do not rinse my mouth. I just spit out and I go to sleep. But you have to have a good toothpaste for that. You can't just use any regular toothpaste, although it is good if you just leave a toothpaste on your teeth at night so it can work its magic, you know, with the fluoride and preventing cavities and everything like that. But for the whitening effect, that is how I keep my teeth touched up. Okay, so another question that I got, let's see here. Does it hard to bring cute American girl like you, Domi Sorry, here? With a crying face, another crying face, a heart eyes, and a tongue out. This is a sweet question. I think what this person meant to ask is it hard to bring a cute American girl here to Croatia? Yeah, I think it might be kind of difficult because while American girls might want to visit Croatia, I'm not sure that they want to move to Croatia. Not like me, but thank you for the compliment. Differences in sense of humor. We're like a lot louder and like, I think sillier in our humor in the States. More sarcastic sense of humor in Croatia, less silly, and in the United States you have just everything there. And I've also noticed that people in Croatia are a little less expressive. Like example, I had a friend who pretended to shoot fake guns at him with his fingers, and the guy having the fake guns pointed to him was Croatian, and he did not laugh like at all. I thought it was funny. It was actually a really silly moment, but the Croatian man, boy, whatever he was just like staring at him, and then I just like hit him and I was like, that's funny, like laugh, and he like didn't find it funny at all. Maybe it was just that person, I don't know. That would only be the biggest difference, but I would say that like American and Croatian like energy, sense of humor, like talking and everything, are like kind of the same, like that loud, energetic, passionate feeling. Could you compare close friendships between Croatian and American people? I thought long and hard about this question, and to be completely honest with you, I do not have a big difference in close friendships with Croatians and close friendships with people in the States, because I am very picky about who I develop my friendships with.
and my relationships with. So the standards are the same no matter what country you're in. I can't say that there's like a huge difference in relationships, although I will say that relationships in Croatia, people are more willing to help without like expecting something in return, or people are just more willing to help a friend or a family without it being this kind of like big, like, oh, I did you a favor kind of thing. What do you think will be a better future for your kids, Croatia or USA? Of course, when you have them. Yes, because I do not have children right now. However, this has been a question on my mind, on Dominic and ours minds. We've discussed it. I have no idea because Croatia is safer. I would prefer that for my children because of some of the cultural norms, the ethical code, the moral code. I would like them to be brought up in Croatia for that reason. At the same time, there's some things in the United States that I wish my kids could experience, my future children, I don't have them now, that I wish that they would experience, like the American college education. For me, it's really, really, really top. I want my children to have like a liberal arts education. Oh my God, this is like so bumpy. Look at this earthquake. Are we going to Lidl? Trying to do some grocery shopping here, and Dominic doesn't want us to eat apparently. But one thing that I do like about raising children in Croatia as opposed to raising children in the States is it's less sports oriented here and more education focused. I just personally feel that the United States focuses too much on sports for children, and there's too much reward put into sports and not enough into education and talent and creativity and those kinds of things. And in Croatia, you know, it's like, great, your kid does a sport, but that's not like, that doesn't define your child whether they do a sport or not. I want my children to grow up, you know, putting their education first and or extracurricular activities if they want and excelling in those, but not glorifying athletic ability. That's really brutally honest. So Americans who are watching, I'm really sorry, but that's truly how I feel. And that's just for me. You know, there's no shame in sports and athletic ability. I know a lot of people. I grew up around a lot of athletes, and it's wonderful to see kids excel in those kinds of things. I'm not going to put a focus on that for my children.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Guys, I don't know. I had so many questions about this. Are Dominic and I planning to move to the States? I understand why you guys are asking, because it is a bit of a conundrum that I am here in Croatia as opposed to being in the US. However, I really don't know what is going to happen in 10 years. I don't know what's going to happen in 1 year. Do I miss the States? Yes. Do I want to move back? Not always. I've had many conversations with Dominic about it, and we really love Croatia, and I know that I said this in my first Q&A, so if you want to see more about that, I'll link it down below also, because I'm not going to talk too much about that. But I do want to say that I love Croatia. And that's it. And the last question, which I loved so much, was from 1 to 1 million. How many you love Croatia? So this number can fluctuate depending on the day. Croatia can be very testing and trying of a person's patience. But anyway, that number ranges from day to day, but overall, I love Croatia. 1 million. It's why I'm here. That is it, everybody. And now I just want to tell you a little bit of an announcement. I was fortunate enough to be asked to do a small project. It's going to be a short video, and it's going to come out on Monday. So on Monday, I am going to release the preview. I'm going to give the kind of lowdown of the project and the preview of the video. If you're interested, please stay tuned, put an alarm, turn on post notifications here, turn on post notifications on Instagram, and or follow me on Facebook, and you will get a notification of when that video gets to go up, so you can, and I'm gonna have all the information so that you can find the whole video. I'm not showing the whole video. It's not my work. I'm just going to be showing the preview, and it's going to be of me telling sort of my life story, sort of, in like very quick. So anyway, that is going to release on Monday, February 4th. If you have any other questions, please put down below so that way I can come through those again next time. And yeah, that's it. So, vidimo se uskoro.
He doesn't even know.
A Croatia post office van just drove by with his door open, getting on to the freeway, people. So if you're missing a package in or around the Sesvete area, I'm sorry to say, but it probably got ran over. Mistakes happen, people. Mistakes happen. Oh, okay. Okay, he knows. Wait, let's see. We're gonna drive by. There he is. He was back there. Did you see him? Woo! Better late than never. Better late than never, people.